Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I want to thank Dr. Geis, Tommy McClellan, the search committee, Dr. Donna Thomas, and the Athletics Council, and the entire Ruston community for welcoming me, my wife Megan, my sons Ethan and Ryan. Ryan wanted to take a little break, but welcoming us here to Louisiana Tech. I've been so impressed by how wonderful everybody has been. I asked Tommy on the way in, are everybody really this nice? And he said yes, and it's been unbelievable. There's so many people I'd like to thank that have been supportive of me. My dad is one of 10 and my mom is one of 8, so there's a lot of relatives. I'm not going to pain you with all the people. But I'd like to give sincere thanks to my lovely wife, Megan, who's been a rock for me since we met in college. My parents, George and Judy Konkol, and Coach Jim Larinaga, who I've worked with for 11 years, who's been an unbelievable mentor to me. I would not be in this position today without them, my friends, and all the assistant coaches that I've worked with, especially Chris Caputo and Mike Huger, who I've been with the last 8 years. They feel like brothers to me. My greatest thanks goes to all the players that gave me the opportunity to coach them. Their impact on me is greater than they'll ever know. I'd also like to express my appreciation to the University of Miami under the leadership of President Donna Shalala, Athletic Director Blake James, Tony Hernandez, and Jen Strawley. I will forever cherish my time being a Cane, but couldn't be more excited to be here in Ruston. During the interview process, I was asked, why Louisiana Tech? And all my research told me the people. The people are what make Ruston and Louisiana Tech so spectacular. And I got to tell you, in the last 24 hours, I've been blown away. People that have just seen me on the street, or I was walking on campus and someone said, welcome, coach. I was in the bathroom and a guy said, I was in the military with a guy named Konkol. What's your dad's name? So people are just so friendly and want to talk about Louisiana Tech basketball and get to know me, and I'm so grateful and excited. Also, the transition with Mary Kay Hungate, Kane McGuire, and the Davison family for taking care of my family. Thank you so much for making this transition so smooth. A standard of excellence is growing here at Louisiana Tech. It is a direct result of the collective commitment by past and current administrators, players, and coaches. And our goal is to keep pushing forward and continue to challenge for regular season conference championships in the Conference USA and make trips to the NCAA tournament. That's what we're here to do. Yesterday I met with several members of the team and laid out my vision. We have terrific young men in this program, as you know, and I can't wait to coach them. I've watched them on film and know many of them from their days in high school. Me being in Florida for the last 4 years and several of the guys coming from Florida, I know their high school programs, I know their coaches, or know their teammates. I assured them that we would continue to be the Dunkin' Dogs. We'll be aggressive on defense in the full court and the half court, and offensively we want to use those turnovers to create great opportunities in transition with layups, preferably dunks, and open three-point shots. We want to play fast. We want to play aggressive. We want to spread the floor in the half court when the other defense is set, utilize pick and roll, move very, very quickly, get open shots for each other, but we want to encourage our players to play with a very clear mind, to be aggressive, attack, use their strengths to get to the basket or get somebody else a great shot. This is a style that is fun to play and very, very exciting to watch, and I think you'll be happy. I look forward to the enthusiasm at the Thomas Assembly Center. Let's pack the tack. And Blue Crew, we need you. We want to see you in full force every single time. This will be a players program. And what I mean by that is the staff and I will be completely dedicated to the development of our student athletes. Their dreams and goals will become our dreams and goals. And we'll be focused on helping them achieve everything they want academically, of course athletically, and in the community. We have a rich tradition, and this will also be a players program for all the players that have ever worn our jersey before. We'll welcome all former players to be an active part of the program, and we are here to help them any way we can. Our door is open. We want you at practice, games, come to the office. We want to see you. I look forward to meeting guys like Karl Malone, and of course last year's seniors, Speedy Smith, Raheem Appleby, and Michael Kaiser, And again, everybody who's ever worn this jersey, I want to meet you. I want to hang out. I want to hear about your experience. And of course, and this is a major turn for our 6-year-old who's a Cavs fan, we'll be cheering very hard for Paul Millsap and the Hawks on Wednesday. I can't tell you how excited I am to be your head coach, and I will do everything I possibly can, every waking moment, to make you all proud. Go Dogs.
Coach, recruiting obviously is probably one of the most important things in the job. You've got one commitment or one signee from the state of Florida, Derek Jean. Have you had the opportunity to reach out to Derek?
Yes, I've contacted with Derek. I know Derek. Anytime there's transition, there's uncertainty, and we want to recruit him just like we'd recruit anybody else from the beginning, because we're getting to know each other on this level. So keeping the signees is very important, and I'm working very hard at that already.
He seemed open, though?
Yes.
You mentioned that you wanted to kind of keep things the status quo in terms of the way that things are handled both defensively and offensively, in terms of turnovers, making dunks, and kind of keeping it high flying. Is that something that you believe in, or do you feel like you're coming into a situation and you kind of want to keep up what's already been established?
A little bit of both. I think it's a great way to play. I think it's a fun way to play for the guys, and I think it's a fun way to play to watch. But I think it's a great style to recruit to Louisiana Tech. And I think with the athletes in this area, and then in Florida where they've come from before, I just think it fits exactly right. Now, during my time, I've also, at George Mason in Miami, played different ways to whatever we thought our roster was best fit for. And this roster right here is best to keep playing the way they've been playing. Of course, with some tweaks, with some different terminology, we might do some different things, because we did lose 47% of our minutes last year. We've got some young guys that are getting ready to come up, and we want to get them ready, and then we wanted them to play to the way that's best suited to them.
Coach, you said you had a chance to visit with the current players, guys like Eric McCree and Alex Hamilton, rising seniors for this class. Have you had a chance to sit down with them? Obviously, they're going to be looking for being big leaders on this team, and I'm sure you'd like to have them as a big piece of your puzzle.
Right, of course. We spoke yesterday to the team, laid out my vision, and set up individual times for tomorrow. So I'll get to speak with each guy and talk about their games, talk about their goals. And like I said, their dreams and goals become my dreams and goals. I want this to be a players program where guys feel like I'm being cared for, the coach is investing in me, and I'm going to really improve here. And then once they leave, they have a very fond memory of their time at Louisiana Tech.
What type of feedback did they give you when you said that you were going to continue the same style?
I think they liked it. I think it's a style they're comfortable with, and a style that they've been very successful with as well. And I think, as I mentioned, with the guys who had graduated that I can't wait to meet and talk with. But the younger players, they see an opportunity, and I'm excited for them to have that opportunity and help them improve over this summer and fall and be ready to take on that challenge.
Your bio says you were an offensive coordinator at Miami. I think we all know what that means in football language, but
Right.
Can you explain what
Sure.
that means in a basketball sense and what you did at Miami and at George Mason?
Sure. The way Coach Larinaga operated the program was almost like quality control coach in a way. I wasn't calling all the plays and directing all the offense like you would in football, but I was more analyzing what worked well, what plays, what actions worked for certain guys, so that when Coach wanted to talk about those things, I could provide some information for him. But I was still very, very involved with our defense, our scouting reports, our recruiting, and everything else. Coach Larinaga, and I told you before, I just think he's an unbelievable man and coach, and he's prepared all of his assistants, I think, very well to be able to handle all the different things that go on in the program.
Speaking of assistant coach duties, I know you have at some of your stops you handled the scheduling, and here in Ruston they've had a hard time scheduling opponents, and so I guess how do you kind of change that to where you're not having to play the D2 schools or the lower schools? You can kind of build a resume where at the end of the year, if you don't win the tournament, you can still have a chance to go into the
Right.
NCAA.
It is an amazing challenge. At George Mason, we had a hard time, and it was direct flights to Washington, D.C. every 30 minutes. And it's just hard to convince people to come to your gym when you only lost one time in the last 3 years. It's not a great invitation for dinner at night, you know? So, but what happens is you try to find like teams that are in a similar situation that are having a hard time finding games at their place, and you kind of meet in the middle and say, I can't find a game, I can't find a game, let's play. And that's what we'll try to do.
During your run at both George Mason and Miami, you guys made 3 NCAA tournaments. How does the experience of making the run to the tournament kind of improve you now that you're getting a shot to kind of lead the team and not just kind of, I guess, help with it?
Well, I told the guys yesterday that it is the greatest sporting event you can ever imagine. The amount of fun you have at that tournament, it's got to be that carrot that's laying out in front of you. That can be this group's legacy. And the amount of success that's been here has been tremendous, and we want to continue to grow the program and get to the tournament. It's been since 1991. We want our fans to get really excited for the program, and let's get back there. Having gone there, I know winning a conference tournament championship, you have to be good, and you have to be lucky too. There's times that the ball bounces a certain way. We've got to try to make as much luck as we can.
During your discussions with Tommy, how aware were you of the program overall? 3 straight seasons with 27 wins, and coming into a position that's built to win now. This isn't maybe a rebuild for a young guy like you. They're ready to win. How early were you made aware of that? And I guess was that something that obviously you thought was a good thing coming into a program that can win and has a roster to win right now?
Well, to answer your first part, I've been very aware of this program. I'm wrapped up into my own team most of the time, but I do also do scheduling, so you're aware of what other teams are doing. So I absolutely knew how great this program's been doing the last few years. As a head coach, or anybody that's aspiring to be a head coach, you want to go to a program that you think can be successful. You want to be able to recruit great student athletes. You want to be able to have a very successful team on the court, and you want to be able to graduate those guys and have a great experience. And from all my research from coaches that have been here or people have been around the program, all those things happen. And so that made this job very, very attractive to me.
What's your timeline on an assistant coaching staff?
As soon as possible. I've got some great guys in mind, and it's one of those things like recruiting. You want to go after guys that you feel, man, they might be like a little bit above our league in a way, but I want to convince them to try to come here. And so I'm going after some who I think are superstars that fit a lot of those core values that Tommy talked about. I said this earlier, the people here in Ruston have opened up their arms to us, and I'm going to go after assistant coaches and players that you'll love, that you'll enjoy to be around, and when you see them at the gas station or the grocery store, they're going to want to say hi and talk to you as well. And we've got some really good guys we have in mind that happen to be great coaches too.
How did the past few years help in terms of trying to lure an assistant here, going back to the last 5 or 6 guys, Wichita State, Vanderbilt, and the 3 that left for Florida? That's a pretty good, I guess, a resume to try to lure someone here when they can, those opportunities present itself if you come to Louisiana
Right.
Tech.
It's a major draw. And that's what I want. I talked about it being a players program and their dreams and goals becoming our dreams and goals. It's the same for my assistant coaches. I want those guys, first, I want guys that want to be head coaches one day, and I will do everything I can to help them grow and develop. And if that means a great opportunity down the road as maybe a BCS assistant coach, if that's what they want, I want to help them do that. And I think, as you said, the success here helps allure guys that are very talented, have big dreams and goals, and those are the kind of guys we want.
Let's take one more question.
Coach, with you personally, having been an assistant for several years, how long has this been a goal for you, and why now?
I grew up in a very small town, and I played every single sport. And I was always the kid who was drawing the plays in the sand. And so being a coach, being a head coach, has always been my dream once I decided this is what I'm going to do. So that preparation has gone on for a very long time. Back to the days when I was a player, But in the last several years, especially when we got to the ACC and started to have success, won the conference championship, that's when people started to take a little bit more notice of what we were doing and had some opportunities. Now, when you said why now, this was a great, great opportunity. And like I said, my family, Megan, our boys, we couldn't be more excited to be here. Thank you, everybody.